Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jerica and you can call me Jer. Today is a bonus video. We're making terrariums that cost nothing. I've gone out, I've gathered all the supplies that we are going to need just from outside, and here we are. Better. So I am a small place, and since we don't want to spend any money, we are going to get some dirt here.
Loud.
Just get a bunch of dirt, pack it in there. Make sure we don't use plastics or anything. Good. You guys were at the park, and there's like nothing here. Oh, it just got really dark now. Yeah, there's like nothing here, so we're gonna keep looking. We're going to keep looking until we find something. We just found a bunch of rocks that we're going to use for the bottom of our terrarium so that we have a bottom layer for the bottom to drain out. So here we got like a little bit of plantage coming out, and I'm just going to use my spoon conveniently brought with me. And we're going to collect little pieces of plant for our terrarium.
Weeds, you do know this, so
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the thing, is weeds are small, right?
Ooh.
Tiny little plant to add to our terrarium.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're walking by, I saw this shrub plant tree thing, and we're gonna take a clipping of it.
Very hard to see in the dark.
Yeah. No, we're not. It's prickly. It's really prickly. Oh. Okay, so found a bunch of flowers. They're very small. I think that they will possibly survive, so we're gonna dig them up and see what we can do. Ow, I just stabbed myself.
You stabbed yourself with a spoon?
Oh my gosh, I don't know how far down they are, but they're so far down.
No reason to do so. Oh, those ones are nice. What is it? That's a long something. Pause, we're going to say goodbye for now and we'll get back to you.
Okay, so we've got a bit of plantage here. They're very tiny. I have no idea, again, what they are. But we're going to try to dig them up.
That police car is, in Canada, this is extremely illegal. We had a helicopter following us, and then now these police cars are coming after us because we are taking these little small plants.
Risking our lives out here to entertain you.
That's right.
I don't know what this is, but
whatever it is, it's worth 5 years in prison, so we're at.
Then you pull
and sometimes you have to dig pretty.
They're not. I don't know.
Yeah. Have you gotten any? You got the one there, but
yeah, I got the one, but got another one. Grab a couple of them so that we have some options, because from what I'm seeing outside right now, pickings are sparse. You guys, it's a bunny.
Yeah, there's a bunny here, and for some reason this phone does not zoom in like. Okay, there we go. We got it zooming in, but still it's a tiny little bunny.
So I don't know what this is. It's got like really pink fluffy. I have no idea what it is, but we're gonna take a couple of pieces of it really quickly before that person. Okay, we're good. Okay, so bag of dirt, bag of plants, going home. See you there. Welcome. It's the next day. Let's get into it. I've gone out, I've gathered all the supplies that we're gonna need just from outside, and here we are. I need containers, which I have acquired throughout my house. Kept a bunch of different things in it, so today we're gonna be filling. I've got this big container here. Awesome. Excellent. This container, and it sits, I think I had rice in this. I'm trying to remember what I had. The other one I had like pasta, this one had rice. Then I had this one right here, which hangs. You actually hang it, and it's got like this little breathing hole here. Then I have micro mini jars, which I'm going to try to make a micro terrarium with whatever we have left, but we'll see. So yeah, these are our containers. See what we can do. Collected, washed, cleaned up. We have quite an assortment of rocks here, different colors, so we'll go through them and see what inspires us. We have bark, which I think adds like a very nice contrast, especially for, I'm dropping my bark. Anyway, I think that for background it is very aesthetic and pleasing, and I actually found some bark that has, I don't know if you can see, like the yellow and green in it. A few bags of dirt, because obviously you're gonna need some dirt, right? And then, of course, plants. Okay, so I did get some plants outside, as I'm sure you can see in the video. I did take some, try to incorporate. That looks pretty cool. I have some polka dot cuttings from one of my plants. Some of these are not just things that you can find outside. They are things that I have collected cuttings from and have, you know, established plants. So I kind of went around my plants to help me get some plants, because my outside adventures, it didn't go well. There wasn't much that I could put into a terrarium. I think the most I saw were like bulb flowers. You got you know, tulips, daffodils, things like that, and you can't put that in a terrarium. It's just, it needs so much more room. So I had to kind of go collecting through my plant collection. So we've got a couple of tiny little pieces of ivy, just little things that we are incorporating. We have these. I have a piece of my rubber plant. I'm not sure if it's gonna appreciate being put into a terrarium or not. It's quite humid. These are what I collected outside. So you've got a lot of very random things. I have something that kind of looks like a palm. I don't know what it is, but it's small, it's cute. I thought, oh shit, why not? A lot of clover looking things. I'm not quite sure what these are, but they're like clover things. And then I have what I am assuming are some kind of pine. It's like a piney kind of, I don't know. Just things that I found outside that are basically weeds. Because, you know, most plants, they need room, so weeds are usually pretty small. You can get away with putting them into a terrarium or something like that. So we have our supplies, we have our plants. Let's get into it. Let's make these terrariums. The thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go through the rocks and we're going to collect some of the smaller ones, because they're gonna be our irrigation. They're gonna be our irrigation, so that at the very bottom the water doesn't collect with the roots. Like you have that barrier between the roots and the water that collects at the bottom. That way your roots don't rot, and because you're putting your plants, or you're putting these plants into a very humid, wet environment already in a terrarium. So you really want to make sure that the dirt that you put into it isn't going to be counterproductive and hold that moisture too long. I'm going to go through and we'll get back when I have collected. Okay, so I have collected. We're going to go for the big jar first, because it's probably going to take the most amount of supplies, so we'll kind of go from biggest container to smallest container, so that kind of whatever's remaining will go into the smaller containers. These are going to be the show containers. And the first thing that you want to do before anything else, obviously, is clean it out. Make sure that there's no debris, nothing in it that's going to cause issues later on. But another thing that you want to look at is the factory line. Like, I don't know if the camera will actually pick it up, but right down here is like a seal line, and you want to make sure that that is the back of your display. You don't want it to impede on your viewing of your terrarium. So make sure that that line is in the back, because the first terrarium, one second, check it out. Okay, so I have attempted this before and it actually succeeded, because this was like last month, right? The one thing that I did not do, and I actually used an old coffee container. This used to have coffee, ground coffee in it, and yeah, now it's a terrarium. So you got your irrigation, you got your dirt, you got your plants, your aesthetic and everything like that, but always make sure that that factory line is behind it, because this one had two and I didn't realize that. So in thinking that I had put the factory line in the back, there was actually another one in the front. So the view isn't exactly the, like, you can just see it. It's just, it's not, it throws off your line of sight when you're looking at it. I also made this one, which is in a mason jar kind of thing. Letting it get some air now so that, you know, because I know that they say that you should keep your terrarium closed and the whole point is to have like a sealed ecosystem, but your plants will appreciate a little bit of air now and then, especially if you find that the glass is collecting humidity and it's just getting a little too humid. You really want to air it out and locate the factory line, which is right here, and we want to make sure that that's like the back of the terrarium, because yeah. And now we're gonna take our rock and just kind of carefully, because obviously we're dealing with glass, I don't want to be like smashing it, so we're gonna just nicely put a layer of rocks in, because yes, I think that's probably pretty good. We've got that layer of rocks, excellent, for that, like, that lining in between the rocks and the dirt that kind of keeps it separated and keeps the roots from actually transferring into the other one. So because I do a lot of cosplay and I do a lot of sewing, I actually have some mesh. So what we want to do is basically just gauge how big the opening of the container is, or I guess the width of the bottom where it's going to lay on top of the rocks is, and we're just going to eyeball it. There you go, you have your meshy, and then that layer of rocks gets covered in mesh. So we have our mesh. We're doing good. All right, bag of dirt. So in the video, I acquired dirt outside because we're doing this for free. We don't want to pay any money, not even for dirt. So this is outside dirt, and I imagine that the city gets some pretty premium dirt. So I found like a tree they had just planted and kind of uprooted just a couple of baggies. It's not going to hurt the tree. It's going to be okay. So here we go. You have to do it quickly. Just take your time. Take your time, kind of fill her up. If it does get in between a little bit, it's definitely not the end of the world. So I think I'm using about half a bag. So that's what I have in here so far. And another thing that I want to do is I want to kind of make it so that it's on an angle like this. That way it has a little bit more dimension when I put plants and things in it, because you're gonna have, the back is gonna be higher up than the bottom, so it's kind of like a slope. It's sloping a little bit. I don't know, it gives it more dimension, and instead of it just being flat. So this is what we have so far. There's a lot of glare, and I'm not sure if I'm not really sure if you can see it, but awesome pile of generic rocks. You can get fancier rocks if you can find them. I don't know. I just grabbed what I could find at the time in the dark. So what you want to do is you want to kind of go through them and pick what color, I guess, you would want. Like, I'm considering doing ones in this white. I'm considering doing ones in just like a very smooth, pebble-ish river rock, kind of. I don't know. And then I have ones here that when they get wet, they get very red and there's a lot of color to them. I'm gonna go with the shiny white ones for the bigger tank. The bigger terrarium. They have a sparkle to them, like they are, I don't know if you can actually see it. They are kind of shiny. They have a shine to them. You're gonna be able to really see it. And basically the goal I have right now, I have kind of pulled out some of the thinner rocks, and what I'm going to try to do is create almost like stairs of rock kind of going down. So I'm going to try to hold it while doing this, and that is going to be tricky, but make me liar. Oh my gosh, I'm not holding it up enough for you guys to see it. I'm getting so entwined to seeing it myself. I'm just like, y'all don't need to see it. Am I even recording? We're getting there. Throw some dirt on it. That looks pretty decent. All right, this piece of driftwood that I showed you guys before, we're going to spray it, give it that nice moisture. Oh my god, it's dripping all over my floor. Gross. Okay, so we've given it some moisture. As you can see, it's already more vibrant in color. You can see the yellow, you can see the green. Is it more aesthetic this way or this way? Now, I don't like this piece is kind of broken off and there's not as much green as there is up here. Like, this is just filled out a lot more. So I really want to use it and pick this back up. Try to hold it in a way that you guys can see it. Okay, so we're kind of just gonna, you want it in the back, okay? You don't want it in the foreground because that's just a little too much. And unfortunately it's peeking at the top here, so we kind of gotta try. So we've got the starting, it's with the glare. Does it help? Did we do it? Can you see a little bit better? There's just so much glare. But yeah, we're gonna take a look at all of them at the end. So, okay, so I have been loving this one right here. It's so simple. Okay, so we have, I don't know what it's called. Probably gonna be that way for most of the things that I'm putting into here. I don't know what any of this is called, but it looks pretty and I feel like we can do something with it. Make it lovely so that, yes, see? I have a piece of my rubber tree. It's a rubber tree. Rubber plant. A rubber tree. We're gonna put that in there. And we're gonna hope for the freaking best because I don't know, you guys. We're just gonna stick him in there. Hope he lives his best life. Oh, actually that looks really good. Oh yes. See that? I think we're gonna leave it at that. I have moss, but I kind of want to incorporate it into a smaller one. I don't know. Do we put some moss? We can put a little bit on it. You're happy with it? Spray it down. I like to spray it on the mist just so that not only everything just gets doused in a nice coating of humidity, it will run down the sides of the terrarium, ensuring that an equal amount of water is getting distributed as you're doing it. And you just want to keep going. I don't know if I can show you this or not, but you can actually see the line of dark, I guess, where the water has actually hit and where the ground is still dry. And that is a good indicator to show when you're going to need to water it again, you know, because you don't want to overwater it at, too much. So we're just, there you go, it's gotten itself with nice watering. Okay, so on to the second terrarium. Okay, So we got our layer of rock. So now we need our mesh. Okay, so the mesh is cut, it's inside. Now we just gotta add the dirt. Excellent. Yeah. So there we go. So the surface, then see it's kind of on an angle. I think you can kind of see. So what do I want to put into this one? Because I think that will look lovely. And I'm gonna overlap them in a way that makes it so that they kind of fall in like a cascade, because I think that would look very nice. It's like a cascade of this stuff kind of coming down. Very lovely. It's actually looking really nice, so that's good. There you go. And I think that'll do. I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of cascading. Excellent. See, so it's kind of like hugging the side of the rock, but I will continue to fill it out and it'll continue to grow, because one of the things you want to make sure is that you don't overcrowd your plants, because you do need to give them room to expand and grow to live a happy little life in your terrarium. So we're not going to overcrowd the plants. This one is a hanging one, and we're going to do it really quick, I hope. Now I'm going to start putting plants in. So we're going to go with the red rock.
It's not like Brazilian bark corn. Not as good.
So we're going to just kind of put your rocks in there, figure a place for them, make it look good. I don't know exactly what I'm trying to achieve here, but I swear it's going to be the same for all of them. It's just like this nice little stepping stone kind of. Hey, look at that. That looks so nice. So good. Okay, so I'm going to fill it with plants and we're going to get back to you. Because I'm running out of space on my... Okay, so this is what I have for number 2. Really the only thing that I have in it is ivy and a little bit of moss. It's not much, but I'll eventually fill it up and hang it and update you eventually on how it's going. Maybe add to it. I don't know. So we have one more. Let's fill it up one more time. Fill it up with rocks. I just try to use the teeniest rocks you can find, because you really don't have a lot of room. So just that small layer of rocks will do. And then we need to cut our mesh. 1 second. Put our little mesh in. Cut. And then add dirt. Okay, so we got our dirt. Now we just gotta find plants that are small enough to fit. Save this tiny little plant for last. So if nothing else, it's just gonna be this tiny little plant on its own with its own little terrarium setup. I don't know. Okay, so here are our 4 terrariums. This one, which is pretty impressive. I don't know. We have this one. Side one. Full of a bunch of plants. I don't know. We have our hanging one, which I'm super excited about the concept of this. I wish I had like 50 of them just all hanging. Oh, so cool. Probably the saddest little terrarium ever, but it's like a little micro terrarium with a tiny little plant in it. Very cool. See how that goes. I don't know. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. Hope you learned something. Hope you try it out yourself. Peace. love, and Wi-Fi.